I started posting every day. I hired a company at first, Balaji, to do it and said, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, but I want to be, and I literally said this, I said, I want to be bigger than Chris Walker. And then that post, first day, turned into the second post, and then it was 4 months until the first lead came in. Lead, not deal, first lead.
Months.
From there, like something happened. 4 months, and then it's been about 2 to 3 a day ever since. So over 1,000 leads, 28% of them closed cumulatively across the team, have come from LinkedIn over the past year and a half.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Steve, you're highlighting something that a lot of B2B marketers struggle with. You went 4 months before a single lead came in. What made you keep going? A lot of businesses, a lot of executives will look at a new program 1 month in, 2 months in, and if they're not seeing pipeline, it's a wrap.
Yeah, that's a mistake. Now, if you're doing paid ads and you're not resonating with that particular persona set, right, then yeah, you want to switch it up. But things like creating awareness takes time.
Steve, you have mentioned publicly the large impact that Aaron Ross's Predictable Revenue book has had on the industry. The book chronicles the rise of Salesforce and how they were able to build a new model. What was so compelling about Predictable Revenue behind Salesforce's growth?
Americana designer, original for Bonanza, Lambo, Lamba, all the guests for designer, Americana designer, original for Bonanza.
I think it's great that the industry adopted it. The only problem is not every company has Salesforce, right? And so where we're seeing it now is, gosh, 12 years later, people are coming in and just considering this. And they come in and they say, we need an SDR strategy. And I usually say, why? They said, we need more top of funnel. I said, what else have you considered? Well, we worked with 3 other agencies. We failed at everyone. I said, why are you here then? What do you think we can do different? Our phone is not any different. We do not have the bad phone sitting under here where it magically rings and gets connected. With Predictable Revenue, the important part of the equation is, oh yeah, they were Salesforce. And so when they grew, it was necessitated that they had this model of hyper growth, coupling SDRs with AEs, and now you have a very rich funnel process, right? It's very marked. Like top of funnel is here, mid funnel's AE, closing's AE, and then we just do it again. And a lot of people are saying, we can't even do it once, yet do it again. And I would say, then you should put your money and resources into something else. You should look at your product. You should look at your product marketing positioning, because if you properly did that, you would still need SDRs. But you might need SDRs to act on product-led growth. You might need them to act in the freemium model where they're looking at behaviors and upgrading people with analytics. But it does not mean that the SDR models work for everybody. And say, if anything, it isn't for most people. And that's probably shocking for people to hear me say. But Predictable Revenue will be officially broke by the year 2025. Nobody will be using that philosophy. Not because it wasn't good. It served its time and purpose. I believe that Predictable Revenue will be completely overhauled. And I wouldn't be surprised if I'm the one who helps write the book that does.
Yeah, man, that's a lot right there.
Lambo, Lamba, all the guests for designer, Americana designer, original for Bonanza. Lambo, Lamba, all the guests for designer, Americana designer, original for Bonanza.
Steve, you talked about how you've sought to help sales professionals with Tidal, with Celex as well. But in growing both of those companies, it seems like you incorporated some elements of building brand awareness, building brand affinity. You're on TikTok dancing. I'm like, this dude got some rhythm now. Steve can move now. You're sharing a lot of content. You've got some sales education content. You've got some content that honestly drew me to you as a person. Why would a lead gen company actually practice other sorts of programs in order to grow?
Yeah, it's a really good question. A cold call too, and every day I make between 10 and 25 cold calls. It's not that I'm not actively doing it, but we'd be lying to ourselves that by talking about lead gen, we're not practicing demand gen, because we're actually simplifying it by saying actually only effort is to have conversations that are meaningful about it, open, transparent, exposing the flaws, because once you start to do that, people start to trust. It's just acknowledging that the human brain thinks in those. The first thing I think when you show up on a sales call is not, I wonder if I'll buy this. It's, I wonder if they're telling the truth at all.
Yes.
And we've done that to ourselves in sales, right?
Yes.
Balaji? So how do you establish some credibility? Just be utterly and openly honest with them and say, this isn't for everybody. It doesn't work all the time. We guarantee nothing. Any other questions?
That is really interesting. All right. You're on a desert island, Steve. You've got a budget of $1,000 per month.
Yeah.
You got to go to market with that. That is virtually nothing. How are you allocating that budget?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to take $1,000 and I'm going to go to a video editing intern at a college. And I'm going to say, I need you $20 an hour and I need 50 hours a month. And I need you to edit every little thing. And I'm going to have the cameras on every video. And we're going to give them every repository of a prospect, a customer meeting, the good, the bad, and ugly. And I'm going to say, we're going to build in public. Now make it a reality show. There you go. Show everybody everything.
Whoa.
That's it.
Whoa.
Live streaming 24/7.
That's your whole budget. That's the whole budget. You're going all in.
Done. All in on that thing. Yep.
Ooh, that's wild. Most companies not only are not doing that, but even I suspect after they hear you say this, most companies still will not make a bet like that. Why do you think that is?
People are afraid to show the truth. We don't want people to see our bad days. I recently started talking about how unprofitable Title was at the end of it. Why? Because it was. And so why not talk about what made it unprofitable, right? So other people would hear and go, man, I better not do that. Not growth at all costs. Holy shit, I can't overhire just because my clients are forcing me to. That's a bad idea. So I think showing people what your company's like without having to put like you walk into a bank, they're just going to be very professional. That's what we expect. You walk to Chick-fil-A, it's an experience. The experience that people are in B2B are creating, I feel, is the one that opens itself up and shows you everything. It says, this is who we are. The good, the bad, the ugly. Because people will say, thank God, right? And we've seen some of this happen. And then the layoffs happen and then people go, oh, I hate that company. And I say, yeah, that does suck, right? And then a week later, everybody forgets about it and moves on. And so who's going to tell an authentic story over time that threads itself where people go, I know who that is, and I've seen something about them. And by the way, they're not hiding anything. And I know the good, the bad, the ugly. And I think that company, if they're paired with a good offering, is going to win the market. And you're going to see that try to be replicated at scale. And I think what we're seeing is a renaissance where you look at every 10 to 15 years, trends dip in and out. Peg jeans, braided hair, horses. Reality TV is back, my friends, but it's coming to you on the internet. So this is the 15th year since The Apprentice of Donald Trump. So it would only make sense.
Oh my God.
People are saying it's time for some more reality. We just need it in the tech sector where people can see that exciting startup business of chaos happening in real time.
That is pretty wild. That's pretty wild. I actually saw that Salesforce has something called Salesforce Plus. This is ironically the company that founded Predictable Revenue. Now they're creating reality shows and getting people to subscribe.
Yeah. I think it's great. I think we're going to see an explosion in the next 5 years of creator-led content channels that are being backed by millions and millions of dollars of VC money because people want that, and now we know it, and companies are going to deliver on it now. They're going to say, I'd rather spend $30,000 a month on this than 2 SEOs. And they'll experiment with it, and they'll probably miss big because they'll want to do a version of it that doesn't show everything, and I'll say, the person who shows everything
will win.
Everything.
Will win.
Everything.
Okay.
Lambo, Lamba, all the guys for the Zanga, Americana designer, original for Bonanza.